Okay, so welcome everyone to a special broadcast episode of If You Like That, Watch This. This is a special broadcast I'm doing where special series I'm doing, where I'm taking a given anime series and basically giving you guys recommendations on that based on certain aspects of the show. So we're going to start with a little show you guys are probably all familiar with called Cowboy Bebop. And I'm going to talk about various shows that you might like if you liked Cowboy Bebop. Now, of course, as you might expect, there are lots of different ways you can slice and dice this. I'm not suggesting this is an authoritative way of seeing this. These are the only shows you could see or whatever. But these are some suggestions I have. So if you liked Cowboy Bebop and you like the bounty hunters in space adventure side of things, you might like Coyote Ragtime Show. This is a series from 2006, 12 episodes long, and I like to call it, as you see, Guardians of the Galaxy crossed with Cowboy Bebop. It's a little lighter and goofier than Bebop. It doesn't have those serious aspects a lot of people like, but it does have that fun science fiction-y aspects to it. It's about a group of actually criminals who are trying to go out for one last big score, as you might expect, and trying to recover a special item. And it's about them trying to do that. They are being chased by a group of android girls who wear goth loli outfits the whole time and can be quite violent, as you might imagine. Also pursued by a detective, a very hard-nosed female detective with her assistant, who's basically Mihoshi from Tenchi Muyo. So again, fun, light show, and also very stylized. It's a nice jazz-style soundtrack. Like I said, not as serious as Bebop, doesn't have all the plot there, but a fun action-adventure-y show. Now, if you do like the mafia elements of Cowboy Bebop, you might want to try Gungrave. A 26-episode series from 2003, and it was based on a video game with character designers from the same person who created Trigun. So not this, he didn't plot it out, but he did the character designs. And this is a dark noir mafia story, basically, which is quite interesting. Has a lot of the visuals you would expect from that kind of a show. A lot of very interesting stylistic elements. Now, I have not seen all of Gungrave, so I don't know quite where it goes in terms of plotline. I only saw like the first 4 or 5 episodes, but those are all strong mafia storylines. Again, sort of in that Bebop mode of talking about the triads and such. So that's a pretty good place to go and thing to try. Now, if you like the bounty hunter in space side of things and want something that's a little more big and space opera-like, if you will, Outlaw Star is a great choice. 1998, 26-episode TV series, and much kind of bigger in scope than Gungrave or Coyote Ragtime Show, and also by the studio Sunrise. They're the ones that made Gundam and lots of other interesting shows. So it's about basically folks who are doing their best, kind of a ragtag group of folks doing what they can to survive in a big science fictional universe. One thing I like is the wide variety of characters, people with different personalities, all working together to try to do stuff. So it has that kind of Cowboy Bebop feel to it. And Sunrise also made Cowboy Bebop. So there's a certain visual flair to Outlaw Star that is somewhat similar to that of Cowboy Bebop. Again, not exact, but there are a lot of similarities there that you'll notice here and there as you watch Outlaw Star. So those are 3 recommendations. If you like Cowboy Bebop, you could try Outlaw Star, or back up to, that wasn't quite working. So you can try Outlaw Star, Gungrave, for again that mafia connection, although I understand it gets a little over the top later, or Coyote Ragtime Show. Again, Cowboy Bebop is a very unique show. It is a completely unique anime series. You're not going to find something that is exactly like it, but these can scratch some of those itches for Cowboy Bebop. So those are my recommendations, and oops. How do I do that? There we go. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and thanks for tuning in. I'll be doing more of these in future, talking about different series, quick little bites, and we'll see where that goes. So thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm still broadcasting, guys. I'm not done yet. That actually took very little time. so I don't want to go off camera just exactly yet. But that was it. I'll be posting that video back up to the YouTube channel shortly as a condensed down episode. Probably tomorrow that'll go up. I started a little early, and I thought it would take me longer than that, so that actually was really quick and good. So that was the idea there. I might actually go back and do more of that in future, actually, as well. Or I'm sorry, may go back and re-record that as I get more ideas for other shows. But those are 3 good ones. So, unfortunately, I had not logged into the chat room, so I don't know if there's a backlog there. But yeah, that is it. That is the thing. So if you guys said anything in the last 5 minutes, I have not seen it. But yeah, that was that. So I'm in the middle of a D&D game and just thought I'd pop in and do a little shoe for you guys. You can probably hear them up there taking a break. Fun. Game is going pretty well. Let's see here. Oh, that's that. So do you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about before I go? Let me know in the chat room. Otherwise, we will be done for the night. Really quick one today. But we stream every single night. Hello, Marvin. Well, I was just recording a video, recording an episode of a show, and now I'm talking back to the chat room. Hey, Nightsabers. Hey, Anime JBP. Yes, I have seen Gunsmith Cats. Gunsmith Cats is a lot of fun. Interesting. Has kind of that jazz feel to it, if you will. Well, certainly a jazzy soundtrack to a Gunsmith Cats. But yeah, Gunsmith Cats is a lot of fun. And it also doesn't include a lot of the weird sexuality, a lot of the weird sex stuff that you get in the manga for Gunsmith Cats, if you've seen that. The anime of Gunsmith Cats is, I mean, there's a bit of fan service in there, but they cut out most of really all of the creepy stuff. Hey, Sebastian. Good seeing you. So like I said, I'll stream for a few more minutes. Just want to make sure we say hi, because we stream every Tuesday at 9:30. Yeah, good to see you back, Sebastian. Unfortunately, you picked a short week for that. That's okay. Wanted to let you guys know also that the network is spinning up. As we mentioned yesterday, we have the geekspectrum.org website. And so that will be kind of a big network managing not just ONV podcast and talking to video, but also other techie stuff we want to do. So you're going to be seeing more and more stuff from Evan and I over the next weeks and months as we spin up more stuff. So should be fun. Hopefully as helpful as possible. Good question, Marvin. I would like to grow the channel, but just generally I like to put more interesting and useful videos out there. So whether it's on this channel or just sort of generally on YouTube or on our own service, whatever. I mean, I want to make more useful content, anime in particular, but also other geek stuff. So yes, I want to grow that. I do want to post more of my review videos, but they just take a long time to assemble. So, I mean, someday. I mean, the reality is, with Evan, I'm much more likely to be able to build stuff that we can actually monetize. I don't want to get into that territory of locking things behind a paywall per se, but it enables us to do stuff that's a little easier to advertise for. The only time when I might lock things behind a paywall is if we start doing like tutorial class type stuff. We'd like to do some tech shows that are basically classes and how to build things. And so we provide some of that content for free. But we probably do some kind of, if you want to take this course, then you pay us some, reasonable fee just so we can recoup the costs of doing that. So that would be cool. But in terms of all the anime stuff and all the stuff, we definitely want to keep this a free and open resource for folks. So do not worry about that. Thank you, Kaiser Dramana. Good to see you again. I do have a bunch of reviews that I would like to do, and but it's not. Again, they take a lot of time to build and assemble, and it's just hard to make money off of them. And I don't, like I said, I don't care about making money per se, but I need to find ways of doing that don't take huge amounts of time. There is a cost benefit analysis, so FYI there. I hear that, Sebastian. Hotel internet does suck. Hey, Liquidus. I have not been watching Appleseed Alpha. How do the rest of you guys think about that? What are your thoughts there? I am curious. I'm a fan of Appleseed, particularly the manga, but I kind of like that world and that franchise. So I'm always saddened when I hear that Appleseed is not working out. The story is not successful. That stinks. Let's see here. We're checking something good. Yeah, hard to say. Yeah, we're ramping up with more shows and more content. I think this will be really helpful for you guys. But hopefully we can find some kind of advertising model or something where we can actually recoup the costs of all the equipment and all of our time. But plenty more stuff coming in. I don't want to tell you too much about it because we're still making it, and it kind of doesn't. I've been burned too many times saying, "Oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z," and then we end up doing something a little bit differently. And I'll announce it when it's done. Basically, I'll give you guys details once those details are finalized. But yeah. Huh. Let's see here. Block user. There we go. Sorry, guys. Just had to kick Jack McJongling out of there. This will be continuous content, so we will be releasing stuff every week, kind of like Smoke and Mirrors. So same kind of idea, and we're going to be rolling those out. I'm using This Week in Tech, the network, the online network, twit.tv, as our model. So live streaming as much as possible, and then we're sort of producing shows as we live stream, and then those then get posted up as individual videos on the channel. With the exception that some of the things aren't live streamed just because we're bringing people in for interviews, and we just don't have everything set up for live streaming yet for all the kind of videos we want to do. So that's kind of the general model. Sometimes we just we won't have everything. We won't have coverage basically for some of the things we want to do to do the live stream. But generally speaking, you'll be able to tune in to watch us as we make various shows. That's kind of the ideal. And that means that the episodes become not quite as again kind of time intensive. I hope I'm not coming down with the sniffles. I feel fine. Thank you for asking. Watching Yamada, awesome. We're watching Yamada as well on Smoke and Mirrors, enjoying that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new Digimon Adventure movie series. That's wow. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do there. I'm somehow not surprised that Kaiser Dramon is excited about Digimon. But yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of take they're going to go. And I think movies are a good approach because then you can be a little more serious, you can be a little more adult. You can pitch that to a certain audience, where for TV, you kind of have to expect that lots of different people are going to tune in. For movies, you can say, okay, we're going to aim for an older audience, or we're going to aim for certain kinds of things and pitch it that way, which I think is a good idea for that. Will we be talking about more current anime, Marvin? That's a good question. We want to, but we don't have a specific vehicle for doing that yet. In other words, we're going to be talking about news. We're going to be talking about, we'll be reviewing various shows. but we don't have a like what's airing this week yet. Partly because Evan's kind of like me. We kind of watch shows that we find interesting, but we don't do a full scale. We're only going to watch these 3 shows that are coming out right now. So, but yes, I'd like to do that. The other side of that coin is we're trying to find other people to pair up with that we can do more shows with that would be more about the current stuff. So, in other words, I'd like to find somebody who is keeping up with recent things, and then 2 of us could do a show together, so that it's not coming on me, who's just not going to do it anyway. If I have somebody else to keep up with, I'll keep up with it. But if it's just up to me, I'll watch whatever I want to. So we got to find the right person for that. Let's see here. Yes, it's funny you should ask that, Kaiju. We are interested in old Super Robot anime, and we are getting together to watch a certain old giant robot series this weekend, actually, and hopefully make a show out of it. But we got to do some watching and do some planning and setup. But yes, we are looking to do some older shows. Dark Realm, not only did I see the Turn A Gundam got an American release, I pre-ordered it, and the first DVD set is arriving on my doorstep next week. So yes, I am getting that, and I will not have Machine Muppets anymore, which will be nice. Yeah, I'm surprised folks don't like the character designs for the new Digimon thing. I love them. I think it looks gorgeous. But I mean, it's personal stuff, personal taste. Any creator-centric content, primer, or digging deeper on... Oh, interesting. That's a good point. We hadn't thought about that, but that's a great idea. So one of the things we are working on that I think I can tell you about, even though it's, I know it's coming out, we just don't have all the details, but I can tell you what we do know. We're going to be doing a Japanese cultural show. So there'll be short episodes about some aspect of Japanese culture that tends to pop up in anime and manga a lot. So Tokyo Tower, Kamaket, things like that. And that would be a good vehicle, actually, for talking about a particular creator. So we'd probably end up doing something like that, whether it's part of that show specifically. But if we do that it would be that kind of a format where we do not super short video, but a relatively short video talking about a particular creator, what they've done, what makes those shows interesting, things like that. As opposed to an hour-long video, something a little more condensed. But yeah, that's a great idea. We will look into that. Part of the problem with creator-centric stuff with anime is that directors in particular tend to direct so many different things that it becomes kind of just a list. This guy did this, and then he did this, and he did that, which just isn't as interesting as a lot of other stuff. So it's hard to find people where that makes sense. Other than Miyazaki, it's kind of like, here's 20 different things this guy worked on over the course of 30 years. Hey, Letter Robo, I'm actually kind of early. So, yeah. Yeah, Mazinger was huge in Central and South America back in the day. It was a massive, massive thing. That's certainly true. Of course, Speed Racer and Astro Boy are out there. The recent seasonal shows, which one do you think will still be remembered in 10 years' time? I have no idea. I mean, that is something that there's no way of telling. Fandom is too weird to be able to figure out what people actually remember. And there are lots of shows I remember being huge back in the day that folks barely remember now. So it's weird. Yeah, I couldn't even hazard a guess, to be honest. Just don't know. And I'm not keeping up with the recent shows much. Generally speaking, you're going to see more people remembering franchises than individual series. So, the Fate franchise, that kind of soldiers on, but the idea of individual shows being remembered seems less and less of a big deal. And that's where the industry is going in general, is that they're pushing franchises as opposed to individual shows. That started back in the 90s, really. That's certainly a truism these days. see here. A Bacon Points show. I'm not familiar with the Bacon Points format. Masa, I'm intrigued. I have seen Giant Gorg, like the first 4 episodes, by the way. It's a very interesting show. You're welcome, Derpy. I like to answer questions. Oh, I see. That's interesting, Masa. So take 2 different people and compare them. That would be very interesting. Well, back when Matt was doing shows, we did a thing where, or we piloted something that never went anywhere called How We Do It Differently. So we would take a movie or TV series and we'd say, okay, if I was the director of Pokemon, how would I do it differently? Which is nice because it's not to say they did it wrong, just, you know, what would be my take on that franchise or that story or that approach to things, which I think is an interesting take. So I'd like to do that with Evan sometime. Are there any josei anime in the more adult style of, say, Kyoko Okazaki or Mirko Ano's manga? There are. There is, not many. I mean, there's Towards the Light, which is josei. There is, was it Tramps Like Us, which is an interesting manga. A few others out there. I would say Google josei manga. That's something I need to dig more into. I'm not as familiar with it. Do you have ideas to have other anime reviewers on your show, live or via Skype? Yes, we'd like to do that. We want to do more interviews with people, and not just anime reviewers, actually. We want to do reviewers of movies and TV. We want to do folks who are into, say, tabletop gaming or comics. And we love to interview lots of different kinds of people, too. So we're very much open to that. We just need to, in fact, we spent some time last night, Evan and I, setting up that list and figuring out, okay, we're going to do this guy, this person, this woman, this group. So we are starting to figure out how to do that and who to contact. Speed Racer, first anime ever. Awesome. Mine was Voltron. That was how that went. Cool. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta move back to the D&D game. My players have been very patient with me. We're just about to go, and well, I'm not going to say anything in case they're listening in. So yeah, thank you all for joining me again. Sorry for the short show. And sorry I started early and got the content through very quickly. But thanks again for showing up. Letter Robo, I mentioned Towards the Light, as in moving towards the light, which is a manga about having an autistic child in Japan, which is very interesting. I think it's called Toward the Light. Well, if you Google manga autistic child, you'll find it. Would be interested in talking about the business side. Yes, absolutely. I actually do panels about that. I'll be doing some panels at Otakon and Gen Con this year, talking about the business side of things. But yes, that's a very good idea. We would definitely like to dig into that. So yes, good thought. We're actually thinking of doing some mini series as well, I should point out. So that would be a great topic of something where I could talk about the business side for, 6 or 8 episodes. But we're not going to do it every single week for years on end. But cool. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of where things are. So yeah, again, thank you all for stopping by. I got to head back. We will be back next Tuesday with Smoke and Mirrors, and more stuff is coming. So thank you all. Bye-bye.